Good afternoon, YouTube. TJ Customs back at you with another build video. We got a new toy. This is a 1983 Suzuki GL 450. It's going to be a bobber build. It was this color when I bought it actually, and the guy already started chopping it up when I bought it. Doesn't have a seat or anything, but we got a lot of goods and parts we're going to put on this. A lot of goodies. Kind of rough around the edges. It's got like a camouflage paint job, I guess, but it's kind of rat rottish, so that's the look I like about it. But we're going to be doing a lot to it, starting with the rear end. When I first purchased the bike, he said all I needed was the battery. Put a new battery in it. Didn't have no spark, no power, nothing whatsoever. Got to look at a wiring diagram and noticed that the starter relay fuse and the battery fuse are supposed to have a 15 amp fuse linking the two, a fusible link that was gone and had been cut out. So I put that on. Got power, got lights, it cranks, still wouldn't fire. Checked the spark plugs were worn, so I replaced those. Put about 2 quarts of oil in it because it was empty, and still nothing. So we got fuel, or we got spark, and we got power. We're missing fuel. Took the airbox off, slid the boots off. It's kind of in a rough spot. You can see somebody's already got it all cut up right here. Sits right behind here. They're going to get that out. It's got it all cut up, but I spray starter fluid in the carburetors and it comes alive, which means I'm getting no fuel. I messed with the petcock, I've checked the hoses, everything's attached, so the next step's going to be pulling those carbs off. We're going to be flipping this and putting all these switches on the inside, taking the airbox out. Since we got the carbs off, we're going to go ahead and jet them and clean them. That way they'll run with pods on them, so I won't have to worry about that big ugly airbox. We're going to be rewiring all this, making that look nice and pretty. We got new springs, lower springs we're going to put for the back. We're going to cut the exhaust. We're going to modify the chain guard, take this lock off, take all these unnecessary these little brackets off for the seat. We won't be needing those. I got turn signals I got to make some brackets for and put them back here. We got to get rid of that shiesty little setup on the brake light. Got to go through, rewire and reroute all this right here, make that look somewhat decent. New spring on this side. We are going to make a battery cover, a battery hold down, just to get to the carbs. So I figure if I'm taking all that off to get to the carbs, I might as well just jet them and pot them. That way I don't have to worry about the ugly airbox. We're going to be cleaning some stuff up a little bit here and there, but I mean we're basically going for the rat rod look here. Kind of what this is a budget bobber build. I'm going to do this as cheap as possible, with less money as possible, and get it running and riding and look good. We got sissy bar and everything we're throwing on it. So yeah, all that good stuff. When it runs, it sounds really good, but like I said, it doesn't run unless you're feeding it starter fluid. I don't really like to do that. So we confirmed that we're going to go ahead and take that off. Another update, which I haven't shown you guys because, well, I've been pretty busy, and this is a Kawasaki 440 LTD bobber build that I'm building from the ground up. It was a complete motorcycle when I got it. It runs, drives, whatever. Didn't look the best, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it into a chopper, or a bobber, I'm sorry. You can see we've already started. I got most of the framework done. I cut this off and welded the plugs on. I got to grind those down. Some of the metal over here was pretty shallow, and when I was grinding I got little holes, so I welded that one. Tried to weld these two right here, but the metal was too thin. The weld would not hold. I tried it on the least power I could. It would not hold, so what I did is I got some Bondo and I filled in those holes. I'm just going to keep filling it and smoothing it till the process is over. Frame's on the side actually, so it's going to be like that. I got the crank painted for it, got the back wheel painted for it. All I did was take the lip off and paint it black. Gonna put all that back together tonight. This is the engine for it. It's a 440 LTD. I do know it needs a starter clutch and it needs an oil pan gasket. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those before we put it back on. Maybe paint it, don't know yet. But this is pretty much the whole bike right here. All those parts are from the 440. Now everything I'm not using on the 440 build, I will use on the Suzuki build. So like, for instance, this was the back seat support for the Kawasaki, so it would have went on like this for the back, for the person in the back to hold on to, if you can see that. But we're not going to be having a back seat, so what we're going to do is kind of put this on for the sissy bar, like that. We're going to have our seat mounted right here. Bunch of other stuff. So just a little update from the shop. We got the MBX 10 frame almost done, put back together. Just got to wire up the throttle here. We got the throttle cable, and this is the 5 horsepower Briggs I'm putting on it. As you can tell, the old clutch blew up and it is seized on there. It is stuck like Chuck. It's not coming off. So I cut it as far as I could, and we're going to work on getting this off. We are going to take the governor out, do all that stuff, clean this up, paint all these parts to match the bike, put it on the bike, and hopefully get that running. That's been a long enough project, but I haven't really messed with it lately. And for the shop, we also have a MX 150cc, or a flywheel